Hey everyone, Dr. Zio here again, and today we're here to talk about Power Rangers Dino Fury Season 2, Episode 5, Stitched Up. Again, another good episode. And we get some Santara, not Centauri action, but she does make an appearance in this episode. This episode basically picks up where things left off in the last episode, but before we get to that, we're gonna get our summary in, likes, dislikes. Actually, I didn't really dislike anything in this episode, so really it's just our summary, conclusion, and then no questions of the week this week. Just because, again, this is just another episode that's just going to bring up points from questions I had last season. But yeah, so again, this is a continuation from the last episode. We start off in Area 62. Santora is awake. Santura is awake. She's out of her pod. Void Knight is talking to her and is, without his suit of armor on. And we find out that his name is Derek. Huh, that's not a name I was expecting. But yeah, he's over here being all lovey-dovey with her. He still hasn't told the others about her yet. But he does mention the fact that, he's coming up with a plan to jam the Rangers' Zords, like a Zord jammer, so they can get off Earth. And Santura, oh wait, I do have a question of the week this week, my bad. But Santura says, she's surprised that they're still on Earth. We don't know why she's surprised though. But essentially, they do all that. Mucus and Slider are trying to listen in on the door, but they can't get in. And so once Void Knight actually comes out, he starts talking to his crew about the Zord Jammer. And in the meantime, Mucus had kicked the jukebox machine and popped out one of the Sporks beasts. And this one is Junkalo, a junk monster who can eat things and recycle them into parts. So I guess Void Knight wants to use that to kind of build parts for his machine. So the one thing I guess keeping Void Knight on Earth, Void Knight and Santura, is the fact that Void Knight wants to build this Zord Jammer, and he needs data from the Packy Smash Sword before he can build the Zord Jammer so they can leave Earth in his ship. Now the ship's almost done being prepared. So they use Junkalo to get parts for the ship. So Void Knight sends Junkalo, Mucus, I think Slither as well, over to a junkyard to get parts. Meanwhile, on the flip side things on the Rangers side, we have Izzy and Fern. Izzy and Fern are talking as they're walking over to Izzy's house, and Fern asks Izzy to prom. Izzy was going to ask Fern to prom as well, but Fern beat her to the punch, and before Izzy can say yes, Izzy's mom pops up from a flower bed, I think it was, and says yes for her. I'm very surprised that Izzy has a mom because we haven't mentioned her at all up until this point for some reason. But yeah, Izzy has a mom, and her mom appears to be some sort of fashion designer because when she throws out the idea of making Izzy's suit and Fern's dress, Fern is ecstatic about this. Fern has seen, she's a fan of Mrs. Garcia's design, so she is all about this. But yeah, Izzy is all, I don't want to dress, but the mom reassures her that she knows exactly what kind of style, Izzy's into. So we fast forward over to Buzz Blast. It's the five Rangers. Amelia is workshopping her mystery show with the other Rangers. Then Izzy pops up with the outfit. She unzips the outfit. Turns out it is a dress. She's not happy about this. She ends up throwing the dress in the trash because she's not a dress kind of person. I guess growing up, her mom always made her into, I guess, her own personal doll of sorts, trying out different designs and dresses, and it always made her feel sick to her stomach. And Javi says that, maybe you'll come around to the idea of wearing the dress, and Izzy's like, no, I definitely won't. And it seemed odd to me that Javi would say that. Like, how long have y'all lived together? Like, you've presumably lived together since you were kids. How do you not know that this is not an idea that your own sister would come around to? Like, that seemed weird to me. But yeah, Izzy throws that away, and then the Rangers get called to the junkyard to go deal with Junkalo, Mucus, and Slither. So they have their fight. Junkalo, Mucus, and Slither leave, and then Fern texts Izzy. Turns out that the dress and the suit got switched around, so Fern got Izzy's suit, and Izzy got Fern's dress. So because they're at the junkyard, they search for the dress. It is ruined. So Izzy takes the dress back to Her mom explains what happens, but her mom's very understanding. She says, "Okay, no problem. I understand why you would have been mad. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and make up a new dress for Fern, and then I think it was a whole entire outfit. I think she made a new suit and a dress, because she would obviously need to make a new suit to go with the new dress. And for, Izzy's like, let's make this into like a mom-daughter type thing. And they do that. And that was a nice little scene. I didn't expect that. We don't get a look into it, but it was still nice to see, a mom-daughter moment here. Aside from that, we jump back to the villains. And now, so it's Junkalo and, back at the base, Mucus tries brushing Junkalo's teeth because it's been a running joke throughout the episode that Junkalo's breath is really, really bad. So Junkalo does the sensible thing and eats Mucus. I was shocked here. I thought this would be the end of Mucus. I didn't think it would just be like a one-off joke. But yeah, he eats Mucus, and then they come up with a plan to send Void Knight and Junkalo over to the cliffside and send Wreckmate over to the Rangers so that he can cause a distraction, get the Rangers to summon the Packy Smash Sword so that Void Knight can get the data. So Ollie had come up with a plan to use the city's pollution detection center to go ahead and search for Junkalos because he's giving off like bad smells and whatnot. And it works. However, because Junkalo had been next to Void Knight, his scent is still kind of lingering. So now the Rangers can see where Void Knight is, and as well as where Junkalo ends up being. So next thing that happens is that the Rangers split up. Now it's Javi, Izzy, and Zato, or not Javi, Izzy, and Ion are fighting Void Knight. Meanwhile, the other three, Ollie, Amelia, and Zato, are over here fighting Junkalo. So Junkalo goes big, Megazord fight, they call the Zord. Meanwhile, Void Knight gets his data. Not before they have a really good fight, though. Void Knight, again, ends up giving the three Rangers the business. Javi ends up activating the Blazing Battle Armor, the first time he's actually used it. And he ends up fighting Void Knight and gets in a few good hits. And then Void Knight, because he already has his data, he doesn't bother finishing the fight and just leaves back to the base. They end up defeating Junkalo in a fight. I think it was a boxing fight. I'm not too sure. But they end up defeating Junkalo. Void Knight has his data at this point, and Void Knight, is talking to Santura, and this is where Santura brings up the fact that did you forget about what the humans did to us? We need to get our vengeance. And we kind of leave things on that note on the villain side. Meanwhile, on the hero side, we go back to the Garcia's residence, and we see Izzy and Fern in their prom outfits, and they look great, and they look happy, and they share a little kiss on the cheek, and then the other Rangers join them in a limo. They all have a group picture, and the episode ends. So let's go ahead and talk about my likes for this episode. First things first is Ranger Universe continuity. In the episode, Izzy, Javi, and Amelia talk about enjoying this show called, Kung Fugitive, starring Steel Silva, who you already know as the Power Rangers Beast Morphers Silver Ranger, because Steel was made into a human being. Last time we saw him, he was working as an action star on a movie set, so it makes sense that from there he transitioned into being on some, seemingly popular TV show. And having a little bit of continuity is nice. There was that. There was Solon listening to Levi Weston, the Gold Ninja Steel Ranger last season, and yeah, I'm enjoying these little bits of continuity nods there. Another thing I liked about this episode was just the wholesome quality of Izzy and her mom's interaction near the end. You would expect that the mom would be angry that Izzy threw away that dress, but no, she's completely understanding. She knows her daughter because she's grown up with her, and she consoles her, and they end up having that mother-daughter dress and suit making moment, and it was cute. It was very, very cute. Speaking of which, every Fern and Izzy moment has been cute so far. Again, I'm glad that we're seeing more of those two together. I'm glad it wasn't just a one-off and Fern just kind of disappears into the ether. But this was very cute. Again, more progressiveness from Power Rangers. I absolutely love it. But yeah, the kiss, the suit, everything, the couple photos, all that was gorgeous, and I cannot wait. Well, I hope that Fern eventually finds out that they are Rangers. But we'll see, how that happens if it does happen. The last thing I really want to point out here was Void Knight's reaction to Junklo eventually throwing up mucus. This happens when Void Knight's over here working on his grabbing data grabbing data at the cliff face. Junklo starts talking about how he's feeling sick. He ends up throwing up mucus, and mucus pops up, and he starts talking to Void Knight, and Void Knight's like, "You're back, whatever." And then Junklo apologized for throwing up, and he's like, Void Knight's like, "Whatever." And it's like just Void Knight not really caring about what's going on around him. He's very laser focused on this mission of his. It's funny. It's his apathetic nature brought a smile to my face. But yeah, in conclusion, good episode. Like, absolutely fantastic. I love seeing more of Santora. I can't wait to see more of her in the future and what that is going to entail. And yeah, Void Knight has yet again another good fight. And now for a question of the week, which is, what in the world did humans take away from Void Knight and Santora? Void Knight's worked so hard to revive Santora, and for her to not want to leave Earth, when that's all Void Knight wants to do. He doesn't want to destroy the humans, he doesn't want to destroy the Power Rangers. He's got what he wants, now he wants to hightail it out of there. For Santora to be like, no, wait a minute, I need my vengeance. I need vengeance against the humans for what they took from us or what they did to us. And it's like, what exactly happened? What is your backstory? I mean, could they have taken their daughter? Could Amelia be Void Knight and Santora's parents or daughter? Who knows? We just don't know. But yeah, that's really the only question I have, and I'm very much excited to see where we go with this, because Santora has me on edge, and that's not just because of the contact lenses she has wearing. Because girl is kind of creepy, with those contact lenses, but she seems unstable. Like, I wouldn't want to mess with her. Like, someone who's on a path for vengeance, nah. I don't see this going well for Void Knight. I totally see her not switching sides, but taking control from here, and then Void Knight going over to the Rangers and asking for help to, bring her back to the light so they can leave, help deal with her in some way, shape, or form. Who knows? But, yeah, I guess we'll see in the next episode, hopefully. Yeah, that's really all I have for today. As always, like, comment, subscribe. It helps me out. Wear your mask, get your shots, get your boosters, and stay safe. Otherwise, I hope you have a good week and stay safe, and peace.